project. 8 students submitted the project and I checked it. It's some of them good, some of them satisfactory levels. And to reply for all of them, because 8 members now, I did not find the time. So I'm appreciating the members who has submitted the project for me and who did not submit the project. I'm also appreciating them because those who did not submit the project, you will be suffering a lot. Okay. Because without doing anything, if you move further, there is no use of it nowadays. And these are CLI projects you can mention in your resume as it is with a description. What you have done in the ATM project, what you have done in the employee project, what you have done in the banking project, you can keep those things in your CLI projects in the resume. That will give you more weight to your career. Okay. Online students, I hope. So those who are all submitted, I'm really appreciating you. Now I'm entering into today another most important concept. OOPS features I'm going to introduce. So let us start with OOPS features now, or OOPS principles we can call. OOPS principles or OOPS concepts also we can call. OOPS concepts we can call. So let us start understanding about what will be the index of this. So a very big index, students. So let me show you that big index for you people now. So there I will carry out from here. So what I'm going to discuss about that here, OOPS features concepts are there. There I will show you the index of OOPS I'm going to show. So try to look at index. What are the advantages of OOPS? And a list of object oriented principles with the classes, objects, data encapsulation, data abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, and message passing. This concept was already discussed with you related to positional arguments, uh, default arguments, keyword arguments, variable length arguments, keyword variable length arguments. These concepts already discussed it. That will be coming here as a message passing. So coming to classes and object in detailed discussion, classes concept. Importance and purpose of classes concept. Syntax for defining a class. Types of data members. Instance data members and class level data members. Types of methods. Instance methods. Class level methods. What is self and CLS? Programming examples. And object. Importance and purpose of object. Syntax for creating object. Programming examples. Programming examples related to pickling, unpickling, which you have done already in the files. That will be done with the OOPS related concept. Database communication with the classes and objects. This is classes and object concept. Then inside the class, we go for what? Constructors. Inside the class, we'll write it. Importance and purpose of constructor. Types of constructors, default constructor, parameterized constructor, rules for using constructors, programming examples. Next, destructors in OOPS and related with the garbage collector. Importance and purpose of destructor, syntax for defining destructor, internal flow of destructor, relationship between destructor and garbage collector, GC module, followed by programming examples. These are all constructors, destructors are the parts of what? Classes only. Next, we'll go for next pair of concepts called encapsulation and abstraction. There we are having data encapsulation and abstraction, importance and purpose of both of them, and how to implement in Python, and followed by programming examples. Next, after that, there is a concept called inheritance and polymorphism. So we are getting inheritance, purpose and importance and purpose of concept inheritance, types of inheritances, single inheritance, multi-level, hierarchical, multiple hybrid inheritances, syntax for using inheritance in Python, followed by programming examples. Next, to go to the polymorphism, we must understand as a part of this inheritance, method overriding, importance and purpose of method overriding, memory management in method overriding, programming examples. Constructor overriding in OOPS, importance and purpose of constructor overriding, memory management in constructor overriding, programming examples. Some people who are coming from Java background, if anybody is there is a overloading is there, overloading. Python does not support overloading because we are having star args concept is there. Star args. What is the star args? Variable length argument concept. Because of variable length arguments, this overloading concept of Java not there in Python. I'll show you that when I come back. And next, polymorphism. Importance and purpose of polymorphism. Difference between polymorphism and inheritance. And method overriding with polymorphism, constructor overriding with polymorphism, super and class name approaches in polymorphism, followed by programming examples. So this is the concept of OOPS. So take weekdays, 1 or 2 days, plus or minus, will be continued. So let us start with index is clear. Now we are going to talk about it. So it is one of the biggest topic. And if you go to any industry, OOPS principles compulsory they will ask you. You take any student who completed OOPS, whatever the OOPS they learned it, that is all blunder what people explains. Completely blunder, especially who are coming from academic background, completely blunder. And if anybody go with that knowledge to any company, if you tell that answers, people will just really bend their head and how people are. Nowadays, the people who are teaching in engineering colleges completely blunder. Completely blunder, right? Because one of our relative is a girl, she's studying in one of the women's college, where they are saying that women's college is a top college in Telangana state. And the ma'am who is teaching to her Java programming, second year, first semester, they have the subject. What they are teaching is totally blunder. No programming, totally blunder. So there is a parents meeting. I'm going, and that I want to see whether that ma'am will be continued or she should send it to home. I want to decide. I'll directly talk to the principal of that college, DBMS, DBMS, ma'am, data structure ma'am. All these ma'ams are disturbing the students. And don't feel girls. Ma'ams are very danger generally. Don't know anything and they will try to tell. So this I want to. When I go to parents meeting means that day there is a last day for them. Definitely, I want to see that either they should prepare well or they should read, they should tell properly, or they should stop teaching. Because in morning, my 7 o'clock also, Narendra Kumar is coming. He is also HOD in one college. 18 years onwards, he is disturbing the students. And he is realizing daily in the class, daily he will talk to me. Sir, I'm learning so many things, sir. 18 years, how I taught, I don't know, sir. I said, please, this year you don't take the class, I said. Today only I said, this year, don't take the classes, I said. He's laughing. So I said, do you know why you are not asking why? Because if you take the classes, students will disturb. After learning Python, you teach only Python. Other subject you don't teach. So that I suggested him today only. So let me go to the subject of what? Object oriented features. Introduction to object oriented features I'm going to talk. Let us start about introduction to object oriented programming features. So let us start. So I'm going to start about what is this OOPS concept is. In industry, in industry, listen very carefully, students. Actually, this is a very complicated, actually, a very complicated programming, what students will feel. But I feel that it is my favorite topic because in Java, we almost entered into research and development. That much Java OOPs are very complicated, actually. But Python OOPs is very tricky and intelligent concept. Try to understand most powerfully. Let us move to the further. In industry, to develop to develop any project, to develop any project, we need language. We need language. Compulsory, we need a language. We need a language. Of course, plus technology also require and requires technology also. Technology also. So the technology applications always developed by using language only. Without knowing language, you cannot deal with any language or technology. Once you know language perfectly, technology can be learned with the left and left finger. Once the technology faculty will teach in a systematic manner. Example, once you know Python well, Django is dead easy. Flask, REST API that are dead easy, provided when they have the system of teaching methodology. Now, going to this place, we need a language and require technology. And that language will satisfy, will satisfy, will satisfy some principles, some principles, some principles. Generally, in olden days, there was only one principles are there. Nowadays, there are two varieties of principles are coming. One is functional functional oriented principles. It is also known as procedure oriented principles. Functional oriented principles and functional or procedure oriented principles. Procedure oriented principles. This is number one. Number two, object oriented principles. Object oriented principles. What are all the languages are available nowadays? What are all the technologies are available nowadays? Or belongs to what? Object oriented principles satisfying languages and technologies only available. So, Oracle is there, for example, which satisfies what? Object oriented. But will they know that object oriented? Don't know. MySQL, you take it. That is also satisfies object oriented principles. But will they teach that? No. You take any technology, any language available in the present world, that present world related, the learners must understand about the functional oriented principles and next object oriented principles thoroughly. Any language satisfies these kind of principles, these kind of principles satisfies, any language satisfies the above principles, the above principles, that is, that language is known as what? Functional or procedure oriented programming language. Procedure oriented programming language. Oriented programming language. Under that, what are available, students? What are the things are available in that? What are the examples of it? What are the examples here? We know C is one of the examples. Next is called 8086 is one of the example of procedure oriented or functional oriented. Next is called COBOL. Next is called, Pascal. Pascal. Next is called what and up to Oracle 7.3, 7.3. That means from Oracle 8 onwards, it is comes under object oriented. And moreover, our Python is also one of the functional oriented programming language. Already functions concept was already completed. So many topics discussed it, right? Did you remember what topics I completed in functions? Hmm? Completed? Right. Completed. So I'm not asking. If I ask now, I should feel disappointed. Because if you don't answer, I will disappoint because I'm little sensitive. I already taught, already folder is there with me, and it is there in your notes if you have written it. Right. So now I'm going to enter into object oriented. What are the limitations of it? I will be showing to you. Limitations of this procedure oriented programming languages or something like this. Under object oriented programming language, any language will satisfy this kind of principles. Any language which satisfies this kind of principles, that is known as what? That is known as what? Object oriented programming language. That language is called object oriented programming language. Under that, what will be the examples of it? Under that, Python. Python is also object oriented. Next is C++. Next is called Java. Next is called what you know, C Sharp.net. Next is called what you know, Object COBOL. Object COBOL. Next is called Object Pascal. All these things you are not aware of it. Next is called from Oracle 8 version onwards. Next is called Ruby. So on. What are all the languages are available nowadays? All of them will satisfy object oriented principles. And nobody will bother about object oriented principles with .NET, object oriented principles with Java, object oriented principles with C++, object oriented principles with Python. They don't bother about it, but they will bother about what is the what are the object oriented principles, what is an advantage of each principle. They will worry because those principles are common in all object oriented programming languages. We are learning object oriented principles through which language? Python, because we are belongs to the Python students. Suppose if you are belongs to Java student, I will tell the same principles with which language? Java language. But concepts are same. But what is different? Syntaxes are going to be different. Implementations are going to be different. Let me tell you what is this object oriented principles. Who developed this object oriented principles first of all? Who developed it? Some group of experts. Huh? Who developed it? Hmm? Hmm? With that, somebody something you are saying. You are saying something. Something you are saying. That's correct. Stand up. You only. Correct. Who is that? Correct. Ma? Some group of. Right. Very good. Some group of experts developed it. So those group of experts named as OMG group. That is known as what? Object Management Group. మనోళ్ళు ఉంటారు కొంతమంది ఓ మై గాడ్ అని మీదంతా వేరే బ్యాచ్ మీదంతా మీ బ్యాచ్ వేరు కాబట్టి అందుకని ఫుల్ ఫామ్ రాస్తున్నాం ఆబ్జెక్ట్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ గ్రూప్ దిస్ ఈస్ నోన్ యాజ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ గ్రూప్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ గ్రూప్ సో దిస్ group of experts has designed these principles for for addressing the needs of the industry. What are those advantages? I'm just going to tell you that. What are the advantages of OOPS? I'm going to give you here. What are the advantages? These advantages are called something like the limitations of procedure oriented programming language, that is called functional programming language. Limitations are eliminated and giving the advantages. Now, if you see that kind of thing, if you observe in our case here, our Python belongs to what here? Both object oriented as well as functional oriented. That means our Python is having a dual role here. So here Python belongs to here. I'm going to write it. Here Python belongs to here. I'm going to write it here. Python belongs to Here I'm going to write it. Both, what? Functional, and object-oriented programming language. Functional and object-oriented programming language. Functional and object-oriented programming language. So, even though it belongs to both functional and object-oriented programming language, even though belongs to Python belongs to both the functional and object-oriented programming language, here Python internally, I will write it. Internally, you already know this part. Internally, everything in Python, everything in Python, everything in Python is treated as, treated as what? Come on, treated as what? Object. Is treated as what here? Object. You know, students, all of you, everything in Python is treated as an object. And there is no doubt in that. Everything treated as a Python in object. And already from the day one onwards, behind of object, who is there? Class is there. So behind of and you are understanding from the beginning onwards what is object. Many of the cases I said object, object, object. Behind of every object, I said what? Class. And if you remember in the classroom, I said so many class names. But are you remembering? No, you are not remembering. That many number of classes I said. Can you tell me some examples of it? All fundamental data types are called what? Classes. Sequence type, list type, set type, dict type. All of them are classes only. And after that, next enter into functions, decorator level, iterator level, generator level, closures level, and you see anonymous functions level. Everything you see topic by topic, you go on taking it. So many number of classes are there. So if you remember all of them, behind of every object, there is a class is there. Now, if you take it, example, go to the place, functional programming. Take an example, online students. Now I'm going to define one function, DE of sum OP of A comma B. There I'm going to say return of A plus B. This is my definition I said. Sum OP of 10 comma 20 I'm going to say. This is an answer I'm going to get it. But what is this sum OP? What is the type of sum OP? Can anybody can tell? What is the sum OP? It is a function name. Every function name in Python is what? Object. Of which type? Of which type? Function class. Already I said to you, in function class called function. Even in the syntax for defining function also I said, every function name is an object whose class is what? Like this. So that is the point I wrote it. Even though Python belongs to both functional and object oriented, internally everything is treated as what? Object. Behind of every object, what is there? Class. And you see internally AB. What is the type of AB? Objects. Formal parameters. Objects. What type it is? Whatever you are passing, that particular value will be there. If you are passing integer value, they are int objects. If you are passing float value, they are floats. If you are passing characters, it is going to be an str. If you are passing boolean values, they are going to be bool class. If you are passing complex values, they are called complex class. Everything is an object. You are able to catch me? E- Even though it is a function, functional programming, but a function name itself is called what? Class. So come back to this area. Now I'm going to tell about something I am writing. Everything is an object. Everything is an object. Everything is an object. Advantages. Advantages, I want to go for it. In other way, I'm going to talk about the advantages of advantages of object oriented programming language. What are the advantages of object oriented programming language, especially with Python I'm going to implement? Especially with the Python programming, I am going to talk about it. Let us start understanding about this concept. Let us start. Here I am going to write number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to start. And these are the first question which is coming in the interview point of view. This is nothing but advantages. What I am going to tell you is advantages. So first question comes in the industry. What are the advantages of OOPS? What are the advantages of OOPS? You completed BTech CSC, everything completed. BTech degree కూడా వచ్చేస్తుంది. దానివల్ల ఏమవుతుంది? Nothing will happen. Not only in Andhra Pradesh or Telangana state, all, everywhere. Why? That's all. Our present education system is like that. You can't do anything, I can't do anything. But situation comes means you have to completely utilize that facility here. So whoever has shown the project in the file level, they've only done the project in the database also. That's called a real encouragement. Real encouragement. Others, whoever is not done, they are going back only. Same. Colleges also same thing. So I'm going to enter into the further. Anyhow, that is always there. Good people, wrong people, everybody will be there. So I'm going to first point. Come on. What is the beauty of an object which we learned in the class? What is the beauty of an object which we learned in the class? Muddu, what is the beauty of an object which we learned in the class? I will open it. Student Babu, Muddu. 11 a.m. Features of Python. Platform independent. Object stores unlimited amount of data. Here, come to the point back. Platform dependent. In Python, all values are stored in the form of what? Object. Here, Java objects are size restricted, stores more number of values, but they are size restricted. But in the case of Python, where Python objects contains unlimited size and unlimited values can store. That is the first advantage. C language you go. If you could take int data type, it is only 2 bytes. 2 bytes means what? It can take only 16 bytes of data. 16 bytes of data means what? 2 to the power of 16. 2 bytes means what? 2 to the power of 2 into 8 bits. 16. 2 to the power of 16, how much? Rather, 2 to the power of 16, how much? Where I said this? 2 to the power of 4, 2 to the power of 8, 2 to the power of 16, 2 to the power of 32. Where I taught in the bitwise operators time I said. 2 to the power of 16 is called what? 65,536. By 2, positive side and negative side. 32,767 positive side minus 32,768 in the negative side. That much amount of data only can store in functional programming. But when you come to object oriented programming, you can store large amount of data. Example I shown you, beginning level only. This much amount of data can allows us to store only in Python. Already you know. Already you know. In the beginning days when you came to my class, in the features only, I said this kind of thing. This much of big data is possible by what? Object of which type? Integer class. It is not possible in Java because Java is containing what? Int keyword is there. Keyword will take in Java how many bytes? 4 bytes. C language it is taking only 2 bytes. While Java data type is taking 4 bytes. If you write it in Java language, you got already an error. In the demo sessions, you have look at beginning classes, you got an error. So the first advantage here is what? First advantage. Objects can store large amount of data. Large amount of data. That is the first thing. Large amount of data. How much amount of data? Until it reaches to the main memory capacity. Main memory capacity means suppose if my main memory capacity is something like 256 MB RAM is there, that much amount of data it can store. But in other languages, it cannot store. Though there is a main memory, it cannot store because the language provides the restriction. But Python objects can store large amount of data, and that you have observed practically already in the class. Second, objects data provides security, provides a security to the data. provides a security. So security to it. So in which application development this security will be there? If we go to the present web world, I am using it. For example, servlets in Java, Django in Python, ASP.NET in .NET. These are the technologies presently we are using in the backend programming. Inside we write the Java coding, Python coding, .NET coding. There, when the client side is going to send the data from the browser, when they are sending the data to the server side programming, the entire data of the browser are going to transfer to the server side application in the form of ciphertext. In the form of ciphertext. This, if you want to transfer into ciphertext, this data has to transfer in the form of what? Object. This object data is not possible to be read by the any hacker. Hacker cannot trap the data. Though they trap the data, they can't understand the data. It is in encrypted format. Encrypted format, other name is what? Ciphertext. A simple example, a person at your level of example, to you, in Amirpet, they want to carry some 50,000 to high-tech city. This person is keeping the hand in one hand 25,000, in another hand 25,000. He is showing, everybody is seeing that. So if this person goes to one lonely place, the person will attack on this. They will take this 50,000. This is called the data which is exploring. This is going to be exploring. That is known as what? Plain text we can call. Which text it is? Plain text. It is a plain text. Plain text is unsecured. Everybody can understand it. Instead of that person keeping in the hand and moving, the same person is an object oriented person. He will keep that of 25,000 and 25,000 in the bag. He will carry that bag. He will carry this bag now. And nobody knows what is there inside the bag. This bag is called what? Object. B is an object. Inside the bag, you are keeping two values. Nobody knows what are these two values because everybody is wearing bag only. This bag data is called what? Ciphertexted, encrypted data. So data, object data provides what? Security. I think you are understanding. Object data, non-object data. Non-object data gives what problems? Security problems. Object data gives you what? Full security. That's why all the backend languages are going to be called object-oriented programming language only. Understand? Servlets, Java. Java is an object-oriented. Python, Django. Inside the Django, they will use what? Python only. Inside ASP.NET, they will use C#.NET. C#.NET is what? Object oriented. What is the reason behind of object oriented? Data present in the object is secured. Next one, I'm going to talk about it. Another one. Suppose there is a this is a browser, students. This is called a Mission M1, for example, located in one place. This is called M2, located into some other place. They are connected over the network. This is over the network they connected. This is called a network. They are in remote places. In Mission M1, I am having 1,000 bytes of data, students. 1,000 bytes of data. In Mission M1, there is one application you developed it. One application you developed it. This application developed in non-object oriented programming language. So this non-object oriented programming language want to transfer this 1,000 bytes of data from M1 to another M2, which are located over the remote machines. What to do that case? When I want to transfer M1 to M2, which is there in the remote places, do you know? This 1,000 values, when you are transferring by using an application which is a non-object oriented, it is transferring value by value, it is getting transferred. Value by value getting transferred. Value by value getting transferred. If you transfer value by value, how many times it is going to be transferred? It will take 2,000 times the to and fro calls will be taken. Taking one value, transferring, again coming back. Again taking the second value and transferring. Is it not called 2 and fro calls are almost 2000? Suppose half of the data transferred, for example. When you are transferring 501 data, all of a sudden network problem has occurred. What will happen? Half of the data is transferred. I am unable to transfer the rest of the data. Is it not my waste of time transferring this first half? Then what to do? It's my time waste. So what is the policy says? Don't transfer value by value. You are losing the communication time. You are wasting your communication time. I want to transfer all values at once. All values at once I want to transfer. All values at once I want to transfer. To transfer all values at once, we are supposed to keep that 1,000 values in where? Object. And if I transfer this object, total values will be transferred at once. That is the best mechanism in the present world is going on. So transferring value by value is in which programming? Non-object oriented approach. Transferring all at once is called which approach? Object oriented approach. In a simple word, మీకు అర్థమయ్యే రీతిలో చెప్పాలంటే this is called room 1, which contains 100 books. This is called room number 2. This is containing, I want to transfer this 100 books from room number 1 to room number 2. A person who don't know anything, he will take the first book, keep it here, come back to second book. He will move here and there for how many times? 200 times. A person who is having some idea, some good intelligence is there, what he will do? He will say B is equal to bag off. B is equal to bag off. Like L is equal to list off. D is equal to dict off. S is equal to set off. What is that? L, D, S are called objects. So B is called what here? Object. We will keep these 100 values in where? 100 books in the bag, and we are going to carry the single bag and we'll keep it there. How many times we transferred? All at once. Which is a better? Book by book transferring is better. All at once is better. All at once. That will give you what? Effective communication is given. Are you following? In the internet world, in the data science world, to transfer the values, you are supposed to transfer all values at once only. Don't transfer value by value. How to transfer all values at once? By using which concept? Object. So everything is an object. So large volume of data, large volume of data transferred, large volume of data transferred, transferred between, transferred between multiple machines all at once, all at once, all at once. That gives you what communication? Effective communication. Effective communication, it is going to be done. Effective communication. So I hope that it is going to be more clear. I hope so. Large volume of data transferred between multiple machines all at once. That gives you what communication? Effective communication. This is one of the most important. This is possible only through what? Object. Online students, are you following me? Next one, I'm going to talk about it. What is the next one? And you know, students, when you go to uh, functional programming, when you go to functional programming, the programming which we discussed so far, how many ways are there to reuse our things? How many ways are there to reuse the thing? To reuse the things? Three ways. What are those? Very good. Excellent. There are three ways are there to reuse the things. One is called functions, modules, packages. Muddu, student, ఎక్కడ చెప్పాను? Muddu, top quality. So go to 11 a.m. under packages, under packages. Here I am going to take up packages. Under that nodes, under that, there is a differences between modules and etc. Last point I said. Here note la Japan. The concept of functions, modules, packages are called reusable techniques in functional programming. మనం ఎప్పుడైనా చదివితే కదా దాని ముఖం చూసే కదా ఎప్పుడైనా. So coming to the point back, Here I'm going to take a functional programming. So in functional programming, what are the reusable things? Functions concept. Next is called a modules concept. Next is called a packages concept. I almost discussed everything like an expert level, like an expert level. So in that, you try to go for x.py or something like kvr.py. kvr.py. In this case, I'm having de of x here, de of x here, next de of y here, de of y here. So coming to the point back, de of y here and a de of z here, de of z here, z. I just write three functions here. So kvr.py is called what? Modu, module name. Because any program contains only functions or global variables or class names, it is called module name. So inside of that, this is called a module name. I developed it. It is for reusability purpose. So next, there is a Soumya. So Soumya is a student. Soumya.py. Soumya.py. Soumya.py is one software engineer. She want to use it. X function want to use it. Y function want to use it. Z function want to use it. So she definitely will say what? From KVR, import x comma y comma z. What are x, y, z? My functions. She is reusing from my module import x, y, z. What is x, y, z are called function names. Function names are called what I said. Function names are called what I said. Objects. Objects of which class? Function class. Once you say object, as I said in the beginning days, object will contain what? Memory space. Object will contain memory space because we are going to store the data. Because beginning I said during the platform independent, where we can store the data? Object. To store the data compulsory, what we require? Memory space is required. I gave an example also. House construction. House plan is known as what? Class. The implementation of the plan which you construct X house, Y house, Z house, XYZ are called what? Objects. Where are you living? In XYZ house or plan of XYZ house. But that XYZ are called what? Objects. So who will contain memory space? So in functional programming, when Soumya is imported my functions are taking memory space. But only advantage is what? You are not writing the same code again here. We are just reusing the code. But when I import, they are taking the memory space. Next, one more student I am going to take it. One more thing, rudraprakash.py. Rudraprakash.py. Py. From KVR, he also said XYZ. Again, he is saying XYZ. What is an advantage here? They are not writing the code for the functions, but they are importing. Again, Rudra Prakash also got what? XYZ memory space. Already Soumya got it. Rudra Prakash also got the XYZ memory space only. If 10 software engineers will use 10 times XYZ, 10 times memory space is taken for XYZ because they are object names. They are taking memory space. This is the simplest limitation of modules, functions, packages. Whenever I import any function names from the modules that are taking memory space, this is called little limitation over there in the functional programming. When you come to object oriented programming, there is one concept called inheritance. Inheritance concept is there, where we discussed that little word about inheritance, class deposit error in the bracket exception, class insufficient fund error, base exception, class deposit error, exception, class invalid name error, exception, class space error, exception. What is that exception? Exception, base exception are called super class for all the exceptions. We developed our own exception by inheriting the exception handling features from exception class or base exception class. Here, class KVR. Class KVR is called one class. Don't worry about it. I'm writing something there. Don't worry. Today I'm writing some small thing I'm writing. So nothing to bother about it. I'm discussing in detail of it. Why? Next I'm going to take it Z online students. Z. With this a class defined. Once we define a class, there is no memory space is there. Once we draw the plan on the paper, it is not your house. Is it your house? Will you live inside that? No. It is only the specification. When you draw the aeroplane in the paper, it is not an aeroplane. It's a piece of paper. Plan also same thing. It is like a class. It's a specification. It doesn't take any memory space. What is the next step? Class Soumya. I'm going to write it Soumya of KVR. KVR. From KVR, you are going to get all sorts of functions are inherited. All sorts of functions are inherited. This is called what? Class to class. Class to class doesn't take the memory space for what? These functions. Not writing the code plus not taking the memory space for the functions. So inheritance is the best reusable technique compared to what? Functions. Come on. Functions, modules, and then packages. Modules will come even in OOPS also. Modules will come in, packages will come in OOPS also. But how that will be coming? Through class they are coming. I am importing class through what? Module. Through module, I am importing the class. Class does not take memory space. But here we are importing what? XYZ. XYZ are called what? Function names. They are freely present outside. But the functions are present inside the class here. So inheritance is going to take high-end reusable application development is possible only through inheritance, which is present in where? Oops. So reusability of functions through modules in functional programming will take more space compared to what? Inheritance in OOPS. So the another advantage is what? With OOPS, we can build what? High-end high-end reusable applications. High-end reusable applications. High-end reusable applications. That means take what? Less memory space is taking. Very less memory space is taking. Because of which concept here? Inheritance. What is that inheritance? I will explain in detail for you. So how many reusable techniques are there in the industry? Five. It's totally four. Number already three are discussed. One is what? Functions, modules, packages. Today we are adding what? Which is the best one? Inheritance is the best one. Because that are present into OOPS, we can build very high-end reusable applications. We are seeing in detail of it. This is a very, very important property. All are important, but the next one, fifth one, we are going to enter. Online students, are you following me? Sai Kumar, blueprint, yellow print, green print, అవన్నీ ఉండవు. So if you say blueprint, interviewer is trying to make a joke. Suppose if you there, I'll make a lot of jokes on you. What is green print? I will say. What is yellow print? I will say. What is your answer? అసలు బ్లూ ప్రింట్ అనేది ఎట్లా వచ్చింది తెలుసా మీకు అసలు? ఎందుకని ప్రతి ఒక్కళ్ళు బ్లూ ప్రింట్ అంటారు? వై నాట్ దే విల్ కాల్ yellow print? Why not it is called green print? Do you know the reason? Do you know? We don't know. So blueprint, yellow print, that is not the one. So blueprint original meaning is what? Specification of our real-time problem is correct. What you people will call, your college people use blueprint, yellow print, green print they will use. So the way you speak, that judge you, what is your knowledge? Of course, nothing wrong from your side. The wrong is from your faculty. ఆయన కూడా ఏం చేయలేడు వాళ్ళ ఫ్యాకల్టీ ప్రాబ్లం. సపోజ్ ఇఫ్ యూ బికమ్ ఏ ఫ్యాకల్టీ, ఇట్ యువర్ ప్రాబ్లమ్. సపోజ్ ఇఫ్ ఎనీ గర్ల్ బికమ్ ఏ ఫ్యాకల్టీ ఇన్ ఇంజనీరింగ్ కాలేజ్, దే వాంట్ టు టీచ్ వెరీ గుడ్, ఇక్కడ ఉండాలి కదా. It should be there in the brain. If a brain is containing, you can spend. Correct or not? If here nothing is there, what you can spend? If doctor is expert, he will use good medicines. If the doctor is Munnabai, what he will use? He will not use anything. Same teacher also same thing. So here we can build high-end reusable applications because of less memory space. Number three, in OOPS, in object-oriented programming, data is data is always available, always available around what? Around the objects. Around the objects. Take one best example. Take one best example. L1 is equal to list of. L1 is equal to list of. What is L1? What is L1? Object. What is the list? Class. So in L1, L1 dot append to L1 dot append, we can place lot of data or not? So finally, I will say lot of append and all those things. Online students. So finally, assume that L1 contains some data. Assume that it contains 10, 12, 3, 14, some 5, 16, 23, minus 5, 0, some 18. Like this I am having. This total data present in where? L1. Now I want to sort this data. I want to sort this data. So sort function is there or not? Where is this sort function is present? This sort function present in which class? List class. Already shown help of list. Help of list. In list class, what is present? Sort. That is operating on what? L1 dot sort. Where is my data stored in? L1. What I am doing? Sort. Next, I want to reverse the list data, for example. Where is the data stored in? L1. What I will do? L1 dot what? Reverse. L1 dot reverse. How many times the data was stored? How many times the data was stored? One time. But how many functions I am applying? Many times. L1 dot L1 dot copy. L1 dot copy. How many times my data was stored in? Only one time. But how many times I am applying? Many times. ఇది అర్థం కాకపోతే ఆల్రెడీ ఇట్ ఈస్ డిస్కస్డ్ ఇన్ ద క్లాస్. Like that, L1 dot what? L1 dot what? Extend, extend, extend. I said this extend of some list of values I will write again. That means already L1 contains the data, so that some extra data is adding. L1 was containing the data how many times? Only one time. Only one time. So finally, my conclusion was very simple. In object oriented programming, data was stored only once in an object. On that object, we are performing lot of operations. Lot of operations. In functional programming, if we want to store the data has to be stored. The data which I'm going to store it in the functional programming, the data must be an input. In object oriented programming, data is an input. The data stored in where? Object. How many times? Only one time. And every function is operating on the data only. In object oriented programming, data is an input. In how many ways I can store my input in functions? In how many ways I can store my input? In how many ways I can store my input? Muddu, top quality. There are two ways are there to store my data in that. Already I said there are four approaches are there to define my functions. Taking values, returning values, not taking values and not returning values, and taking values and not returning values, not taking values and returning values. Taking values is nothing but what? Input. Already explained. How many ways? Two ways. One I can define inside the function body. One I can pass through function call. If I want to do sum of two numbers, 1020, sub of 1020, MUL of 1020, division of 1020, I need to pass through function call how many times? 4 times I have to pass it because we are passing as a function call. In the function call, I am passing again and again. There are 4 times I am writing two values. Unnecessarily, you are writing 8 times. Even in the function body, if you write it, taking the input inside the function body, how many times we will need to take? 8 times we need to take it. Is it not called a waste of memory space? Already explained here. Muddu. Student, go to functions here. Functions. I will go for because everything I taught to you, number of approaches to define functions in Python. Number one, taking input in function call, taking input in function body. దానికి సంబంధించిన ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చూపిస్తాను ముద్దు. సో అప్రోచ్ నంబర్ వన్, approach example number one, taking the input in the function call. This AB function call, function call. This is the one. One more example two, taking the input in function body here. Taking the input in function body. We are taking the inputs in two ways. One is in function call, one more is in function body. That means they are available the data not inside of where object. They are simply available without object, non-object to store, object to store. Which is a better to store? Object storage is a better. One time if you store it, many functions will operate on this. This is the best programming language approach. Best example, you take your mobile object which you are having in the hand. You are having mobile object in the hand. In that you are going to store the contact list. Contact list. A friend contact number is available. How many times that will be available in your mobile? One time. One time it is available. The same number you can use to talk. The same number you can use to talk. The same number you can use for what? Chat. The same number you can use for sending SMS message you can send. The same type of number you can use to do any UPI transaction. The same number you can use to go for what? Video call. The same number you can use for doing any of the operations. So mobile is called what? Object, which contains the contact list only one time. I can use that contact list which was stored one time in the object. Many functions can operate on that object. Which is the bestest data storage in the world of industry? Object data storage representation is the best. That's why I'm writing here. Data is always available around the objects. In which programming? Object oriented programming. Non-object oriented approach where you can store the data either in the function call or inside the function body. These two things will take what? More memory space. That's why object oriented programming language is the best programming thing. All these things I'll show in the programming also. These are the advantages you need to tell in the industry. And this is what I want to show you in the classroom. Online students, is it clear for you people? This description is clear for you people? So I hope that it was clear. I hope so. When you come to this hoops here, I'm going to take it introduction to object oriented programming features. So if you understand it in real time to develop any project, we need to choose a language. The language which we select for developing the project can satisfy two types of principles. One is procedure or function oriented principles, object oriented principles. In other words, in industry, you have two types of programming languages, procedure or functional oriented programming languages, object oriented. So functional oriented. If any programming language satisfies function oriented principles, that is already functions concept explained, then that languages are called functional or procedure oriented. C, Pascal, COBOL, Python up to here. Object oriented programming, same object oriented principles satisfying that language is called object oriented programming language. Lisp, Smalltalk, Ruby, Java, Python, etc. etc. Python. Our main concern is about the Python in both the sides. Done. Even though Python belongs to both functional and object oriented, internally everything treated as an object only. Everything is an object, advantages or advantages of hoops. So it stores unlimited amount of data, and you have already observed it. This much amount of data, generally not possible in any of the other languages. Python is going to be a great programming. It stores unlimited amount of data. The large volume of data transferred between multiple remote machines all at once and gets effective communication. If you want to go to your native place by taking lot of luggage, what you will do? Will you take one by one and going to your home and here Hyderabad multiple times? Will you move? What you will do? You will take a big luggage bag and in that you will keep all the items or not. What that luggage bag is called? Object. How you are going to transfer all at once, one by one? That is known as what? Effective communication. The confidential data transferred between two remote machines in the form of ciphertext so that we can get the security enhanced, improved. The data always available around the objects gives less memory space. And we can build high-end reusable applications by using which concept? Inheritance. These are the top most advantages of object-oriented programming principles. So I hope that achieve these kind of thing, whether Java oops or Python oops or .NET oops, any oops you are learning is for this purpose only. The faculty has to explain this kind of practical implementations in the class. So coming to the point back, now I'm entering into, if you want to say it is an object oriented programming language, if any language, if any language is object oriented programming language, then it has to satisfy, then it has to satisfy, it has to satisfy the following principles. Following principles. What are those? What are those? One, two, three, four, and then five, and then six. And C students, now I'm going to take up. Now I'm going to write 7. Now, some people, of course, why they will try to say, I don't know. Number one is called data encapsulation. Data encapsulation. This one. Number two is called what? Data abstraction. Data abstraction, I'm going to take it. Data encapsulation, data abstraction. Next is called inheritance. And next is called polymorphism. These are the polymorphism. These are the OOPS principles they will say. Because over the night, tomorrow there is a class in the college. Today they will open some tutorial, something they will learn, and they will go to class tomorrow. And they will try to dump in the class. And a student will write it. They will remember. When they go to interview, they will say the same thing. And one teacher, how society of people are spoiled because of lack of knowledge. So this the only one and only direct question. If you want to write a program using inheritance, you need compulsory class concept is compulsory required. Without classes concept, there is no inheritance program, no polymorphism, no abstraction, no encapsulation, nothing. It has to start the concept with what? Class. So class concept is compulsory. Classes concept. Next is called what here? Objects concept. These two are mandatory for the object oriented principles. If these are the three, only four are object oriented principles, my straight question you also ask, how do you write a program using inheritance? Compulsory, what we need? Class is compulsory. Then what is a class? Is class is a Java concept, a Python concept. It is a concept used in all the object oriented programming. Class is one of the concept of OOPS. Class will not give any memory space. To create a memory space for the things, I require to create compulsory object. That object and class. Without classes and object, there are no OOPS principles at all. There is one more thing, to transfer the data between the objects, message passing is required. This is already discussed in my Python class. Already discussed. So whether you remembered or not, that is your individual commitment. Already explained 4 techniques for you. Positional parameters, default parameters, variable length, keyword variable length, all those things was explained it. So in this kind of mechanism, parameter passing mechanism once again will be coming. They named as what? message passing. These principles, whatever the principles I wrote it, these principles, whatever is written, principles are common in all object oriented programming languages. C++, Java, .NET, Python, all of them are available here. In Java, if we go, there is one more thing called what? Dynamic binding. There is one more thing is going to come, dynamic binding. This dynamic binding by default available into Python. By default available. This is a very complicated concept. Like interfaces, like abstract classes to implement those kind of thing. An extra principle is available called dynamic binding, which is going to be not there in the Python level. That's why I'm not writing that. So these principles are common in object oriented languages whose implementation, that is nothing but whose syntaxes differs from, differs from one, differs from one language to another language, whose syntax differs from one language to another language. They are differing from one language to another language. So we are learning this syntax through which languages? Python. So what I am explaining in the class, how OOPS principles are, what is the purpose of that, how to implement that purpose in Python. The same purpose when you are learning Java, the same purpose you can tell everywhere. And what industry people will look at you, what is a class? They will expect what is a class concept perfectly. Implementing in Java, implementing in Python is after all what? Learning about the syntaxes. So that part I am going to tell you. So here I am going to say list of object oriented principles. Online students, to say a programming language is object oriented, it has to satisfy the following principles: classes, objects, data encapsulation, data abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, message passing. All the above object oriented principles are same in all object oriented programming language, but whose syntaxes differs from one object oriented programming language to another object oriented programming language. So we need to learn the concept of it and how to implement in which language? Python. That is our basic discussion in the class. Online students, is this principles list is clear? Come on, respond everybody. Now we are supposed to enter into the further. Now I am going to enter into the further. So we understood the concept of this principles. I wrote it here. Now I am entering into discussion called what? Classes. Now I am going to enter into the concept. First, OOPS principle I am going to implement. So already, if you have any knowledge about the classes, please forget because you remembered a wrong concept. Wrong. అంటే wrong ఎక్కువ గుర్తుంటది. You will remember wrong more and more times because wrong is always sweet for temporary. So what you learned about the classes in your college? మీ college faculty ఏం చెప్పాడు? Most of the people in Amirpet, what they will say? Class is a collection of objects. They said or not? Yes. There is a blunder. How? L1 is equal to list of. L2 is equal to list of. L3 is equal to list of. What is L1, L2, L3? Objects. Of which class? List class. So to create an object, what is used? Class. To create an object, what is used? Class. So class is used to create an object. A class is a collection of objects. Huh? Class is used to create, but it is not a collection of objects. So ఏం చెప్పారు మీకు? తప్పు చెప్పారు. I will show you. And why I am saying today is because you need to know about reality first. So you look at. So here help of and అన్ని languages లో చూపిస్తాను మీకు. Help of list. What is the list class? Class list. ఏమున్నాయి అందులో? List is present into where? Built-ins module. Inside of that, what is available? Methods are nothing but functions. Functions in functional programming, we will define inside the class today. They are known as what? Methods. Come on, I am going to show you all these kind of methods, append, etc. So inside the class, what are present? చెప్పండి మొద్దు ఏం చూస్తారు మీరు ఇక్కడ? What are you seeing inside? Inside the class, what are you seeing? Functions. Functions in OOPS are called what? Methods. Spell out. Methods. Functions in functional programming are called what here? Methods. Spell out. Methods. So inside the class, what are available? Methods. Is it collection of objects? What is the definition of file? Inside the file, what is present? Records. So file is a collection of records, but class is a collection of methods. But why the faculty said to you? ఎందుకు చెప్పాడు? తెలియదు. అమాయకత్వం అంటారు దాన్ని. Innocency. What you also? Same. అందుకనే ఇఫ్ టీచర్ ఈజ్ వెరీ రాంగ్, స్టూడెంట్ బికమ్ ఆబ్వియస్లీ రాంగ్. నేను మళ్ళీ అక్కడికి వెళ్తాను, జావాకి తీసుకెళ్తాను మిమ్మల్ని. జావా ఐ విల్ టేక్ యూ. Why I am showing all these things is because if you read my notes, you will definitely change your at least subject skill set. Java P, Java dot lang dot Java dot lang dot system. Java dot lang dot system. ఒకసారి path set చేస్తాను. Path is equal to, because I have Python path here. So go to the place C colon program files Java JDK bin. I will bring that path. సో ఇక్కడ చూడండి. సో జావా డాట్ లాంగ్ డాట్ థింగ్స్ ఇక్కడ చూడండి మా జావా డాట్ లాంగ్ డాట్ సిస్టమ్ బిల్ట్ ఇన్ ఇస్ అ మాడ్యూల్. ఇక్కడ సిస్టమ్ is a class present into which package? Lang. What is that system here? Class. అందులో ఏమేమి ఉన్నాయి చూడండి ఒకసారి. సెట్ ఇన్, బ్రాకెట్ ఓపెన్, బ్రాకెట్ క్లోజ్. ఇవి ఏంటది? మెథడ్ ఆర్ నాట్? Method. These are all called what? Set, ERR of something. Method. Void, etc. That is the Java syntaxes. These are all called what? These are all called what? Methods. In which class? Modu. System class. In system class, what are these? Methods. In Python list class, what are those? Methods. Class is a collection of what? Methods. But what your teacher said? తప్ప కాదా? వాడు ఎవడైతే ఏంటి? హూ ఇస్ దట్? ఎవ్రీ ట్రైనర్ ఇన్ కాలేజ్, ఎక్స్ కాలేజ్, వై కాలేజ్, జెడ్ కాలేజ్, సేమ్ రాంగ్ పీపుల్. సో all students will do what? Learn that wrong only. Next, so how to change the people? At least you need to change by yourself now. Come to object. What is an object? ఏదో చెప్తాడు మీ సారు. ఇన్స్టెన్స్ ఆఫ్ ఏ క్లాస్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అని. వాట్ ఈజ్ ఇన్స్టెన్స్? తెలియదు. ఇక్కడ ఏం తెలుసు? రాంగ్. ఇక్కడ ఏం తెలుసు? రాంగ్. ఇన్స్టెన్స్ ఆఫ్ ఏ క్లాస్. వాట్ ఈజ్ ఇన్స్టెన్స్? డోంట్ నో. నెక్స్ట్, data encapsulation, data abstraction. How to use it in ATM applications is abstraction and encapsulation? Don't know. Inheritance. ఏదో ఒకటి చెప్తాడు. Getting something from something. ఏదో something they will say. What is polymorphism? ఇదంతా ఫేవరెట్స్ స్టూడెంట్స్ కి. చెప్తాడు ఒక్కొక్కడు కాలేజీలో. పాలీ ప్లస్ మార్ఫిజం ఇది కూడా పాలిమారిజం. హైదరాబాద్, హైదర్ ప్లస్ బాద్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు హైదరాబాద్. కరెక్ట్. ఫోన్ కూడా వచ్చింది ఇప్పుడే. ఒక కాలింగ్ 10 times కాలింగ్ వన్ పర్సన్. హూ ఇస్ దట్ పర్సన్? ఐ డోంట్ నో. సో పాలీ ప్లస్ మార్ఫిజం ఇది కూడా పాలిమారిజం. మీరు కూడా అబ్బా ఎంత బాగుంది అసలు ఇది. ఇంకొక ఫ్యాకల్టీ, పాలిమారిజం ఈజ్ అ గ్రీక్ వర్డ్. అంటే యాజ్ ఇఫ్ హీ ఈజ్ అ గ్రీక్ లెర్నింగ్ లాంగ్వేజ్ పర్సన్. He went to Greek countries and he is living in that for hundreds of years. Polymorphism is a Greek word. Poly means multiple. Morphism means one. Polymorphism means multiple forms. Over. మీరేం చేస్తారా? ఇది బాగుంది ఇది. You will tell to me. I will show HD cinema for you. First question I will ask you. How do you know it is a Greek word? I will ask. Show me in the Greek library, I will say. Will you bring a Greek library here? That's why Anything if you see with your eyes practically, then you believe it. Anything which you see with your eyes, you believe it. Anything they say something, that is virus only. So try to follow. This is what people says. ఇంకా ఇంకా కొంతమంది టైం దే విల్ ఫర్గెట్ దేర్ ఎథిక్స్ అండ్ దే విల్ టెల్ సంథింగ్ ఎల్స్ విచ్ ఈస్ destroying the human ethics. I don't want to tell because lot of people, lot of faculties will say this unethical things in the class, and students will enjoy. అంటే ఆ వాటి కోసమే స్టూడెంట్స్ దే విల్ డూ సంథింగ్ ఎంజాయ్మెంట్ ఇన్ ద క్లాస్. I don't want to say that. Let me move to the further. So whatever you learned about all these things is called a completely blunder. Utter fail candidates are nothing but academic students who are coming out. ఇదే వర్డ్ నేను రేపు పేరెంట్స్ మీటింగ్ వెళ్తే మా రిలేటివ్ ఆ గర్ల్ తో పాటు ఇదే ఫస్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ చెప్తా ప్రిన్సిపల్ కి. దట్ ప్రిన్సిపల్ అది టాప్ కాలేజ్ అంట, నాకు తెలియదు అది. దట్ ఇస్ అ టాప్ కాలేజ్ ఇన్ ఉమెన్స్ కాలేజ్. దేర్ ఆ ఉమెన్స్ కాలేజ్ ప్రిన్సిపాల్ మొత్తం ఒక రౌండ్ వేసి మొత్తం హూ ఎవర్ ఇట్ మైట్ బి, ఐ టాక్ టు ఎవ్రీబడి. ఆ టీచర్స్ ఎంతమంది జావా టీచర్స్ అందరిని పిలుస్తున్నాం సార్ ఇన్ ఫ్రంట్ ఆఫ్ ద ప్రిన్సిపల్. అక్కడ డిసైడ్ అయిపోవాలి అసలు వాట్ విల్ హ్యాపెన్ అని. సో కమ్ టు ద పాయింట్ బ్యాక్. నౌ ఐ విల్ గో టు విచ్ కాన్సెప్ట్ నౌ? క్లాసెస్ కాన్సెప్ట్. స్టార్ట్. What is the use of classes concept? First of all, already we learned about what? Data types now. Data types. Data types means what? In the data types, what are the data types you learned? What are the data types? Into, float, bool. There are 14 data types, I said. 14 data types are what? Predefined. You defined. Predefined. Each data type is having its own properties or not? Each data type is having its own properties. Now, they are showing their own data. Now, suppose if you take list data, what a list data, list class will do? It gives you some properties. That is called some policies will be there. Some methods will be there in that. Some functions are present. How many functions I taught? 12 functions I said. Do you remember all 12 functions? Do you remember? Very good. Those who are remembering, very good. ఈ గుర్తులేని వాళ్ళకే చెప్పేది, ఈ అనామకులకే చెప్పేది నేను. ఈ గుర్తులేని వాళ్ళంతా ఎవరు ఇల్లు? ఇప్పుడు చెప్పాను కదా తెలుగులో, మీకు తెలుగు వస్తుందో రాదో తెలియదు. సో వీళ్ళకు గుర్తులేని వాళ్ళని ఏమంటారు? అన్నోన్ పీపుల్. These people, these are all called 12 functions are for what? These are the functions for what? List operations to do it. Today, I want to take some type of environment. I want to store my number. I want to store my name. I want to store the marks in 3 subjects and a college name I want to store. I want to take my own functions called get student details, display student details, display student details. Next is called what? Get a total marks, get a grade. These kind of functions, are there any present in any of the predefined classes? List class is there, tuple class is there, set class is there, dict class is there, range class is there, str class is there. So many number of classes are there. Is this classes contains these functions? No. Get student details, get display student details. These many number of functions are not there in my classes. So I need to define my own class. My own class I want to define. My own class, why I am defining? It is called my application need. The specification. My application requires some application to develop it. In order to develop an application, I need to create my own object. To create my own object, I require what? My own class is required. To develop your own class, I require which concept? Classes concept. What is the first purpose of classes concept? The purpose of classes concept is to develop programmer defined data type. Programmer defined data type. Why do you use your programmer defined data type? to store the customized data, to perform customized operations. To store my own customized data, predefined classes are not useful. To perform my own operations, I don't have these functions in any of the 14 classes. I need to define my own class. So what is the purpose of the classes concept? The purpose of which concept? Classes concept is that to develop programmer defined data type, programmer defined data type, plus to develop any real time application in oops, to develop any real time application, to develop any real time application, it has to start with which concept? Classes concept. The purpose of classes concept is that to develop programmer defined data type and to develop any real time application, we go for which concept? Classes concept. Next, what is the use of developing this? The purpose of developing the purpose of developing programmer defined data type. The purpose of developing programmer defined data type is that to store to store which data? To store customized data, customized data, to store customized data, and to perform to perform customized operations, customized operations, customized operations, customized operations. Babu Madhubabulo, మీకేం అర్థమైనట్లేదు. First of all, paint, go to that. I want to store employee data. What I will do? To store employee data, what I need in Python? What I need? To store list data, what I need? To store set data, what I need? Muddu, object, object. To store list data, list object. To store set data, set object. To store dict data, dict object. To store frozen set data, frozen set object. Day one, to store any data, we require what? Object. To store employee data, what I need? Employee object. కొద్దిగన్నా పలకండి. To store employee data, what I require? Employee object. To store student data, what I need? Student object. So I'm going to take it employee. What is that? Employee. What is employee? List object, dict object, set object. What is the list, set, dict? Classes. Objects are classes. Dict, list, set are called what? Classes. Employee is called what? Class. Class adi. In that, what I want to take it? I want to store the data. For that, what I need? I need which type of data you want? I want ENO. I want what name. I want name. I want a salary. I want a designation to store. These are called what? Data members we can call. Data members. They are called data members. Object oriented terminology today I am introducing. Data members. Inka, if you are good, they are called attributes. They are called attributes. They are called fields. 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 They are also called as properties. They are called properties. Properties. So these are all called a different terminology. Now students, online students, now I want to get it. Only data storing is not important. I need to perform the operation on it. What is that? DEF, get EMP details. Get EMP details. DEF, display EMP details. Display DEF, calculate total salary. For example, total something I am writing inside. These are all called what? These are all called what? Methods. These are all called what? Methods. Methods are nothing but what functions in functional programming. In object oriented programming, we will use what? Methods. So today onwards, functions defined inside the class are called methods. So these are called methods. These are also called as functions, but always you need to use the terminology here. What is this is known as here? What is this is known as class name? Every class name is called what? One data type. Which data type it is? Who defined it? Me. Programmer defined data type. Done by using which concept? Classes concept. So why do you use classes? To develop my own data type. Employee. Next, I will go to what? One more. Student data I want to store. What I will start with? I need to plan. Student is my class. This is called my class name. In that, what I am expecting to store, this is my class name. In that, what I am expecting to store, I am expecting SNO, I am expecting name, I am expecting M1, M2, and M3. M3. And next I am expecting what? C name. C name I am expecting. What these are all called? Data members. Inside of it, compulsory what I need? DEF, get STUD details. STUD details. Next is called what? STUD details. DEF, I'm going to say display STUD details. Next I will go to what? Calculate total marks. Calculate total marks. Next is called what? Decide grade. Decide grade. DEF, decide grade. What these are all called? These are all called what? Methods. Inside of which class? Student class. Do you have any such type of methods in our list class, dict class, set class, etc.? No. That's why I'm defining my own class. That's why to develop my own class concept, I'm going to use which concept? Classes concept. Moreover, in order to define a class in Python, we are using which keyword? In Java, I'm using which keyword? In Python also, we are using which keyword? Class. To define any type of class, we are using which keyword? Class keyword. And every class name in Python, every class name in Java, every class name in Python, in all the object oriented programming, they are treated as which data type? Programmer defined data type. In OOPS, if you want to start any program, you have to start with the concept of what? Class. Without class concept, there is no way to develop the program. In OOPS, you are seeing in Python, from the day one onwards, into float bool onwards, whether classes are not, every time I'm going to show you what? Help of that class name I'm going to show. So these are all require our previous class concept. So what I'm trying to say, definition of a class. What is the definition of a class? A class is a collection of data members and next what? Methods. That is the definition of a class. Once we define a class, memory space is not created for data members and methods. Whose memory space will be creating? When we create what? Object. For example, list class is there here. Is the list class is having memory space here? No. When the memory space can be done, when you can store the data, when you say L is equal to what? List. Where are you storing? In list L. L. What is the L? Object. Similarly, when you practiced well about our functional programming, today is a dead easy. మీరేం ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయకుండా ప్రాజెక్ట్ చేయకుండా వితౌట్ డూయింగ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ అండ్ ఆల్ ఇఫ్ యూ జస్ట్ కీప్ ఇట్ క్వైట్ అండ్ కామ్ ఇట్స్ అ ప్రాబ్లమ్ ఆల్వేస్. So E is equal to what? Employee. What is this E1 is called? Object. So in E1 what will be coming? In E1 what are coming? This is called my E1. In E1 what are coming? What are all the data members are there inside the class? As it is they are coming to the object. These also coming to what? Object. Methods will come to an object. Data members will come to an object because the object will contain which one? Memory space. Okay, that means to create an object, compulsory what is required? Class is required. Without class, you cannot create object. Here also, S is equal to what I am going to do? Student. Student of. What the S contains now? S contains number, name, 3 subjects marks and everything and college name plus what will be coming. Methods also will be available as a part of this object. That means class is simply called as what? Specification of our real-time problem. It is a blueprint or yellow print. Please don't try to say these academic terms. Academic terms will give you wrong impression to the present real time. Because academics slowly it is only a relaxation procedure. That's all. మనం కాలేజీకి వెళ్ళేది ఓన్లీ ఆ బీటెక్ సర్టిఫికేట్ తీసుకోవడానికి. ఇంటికి వచ్చిన తర్వాత ఆ కాలేజ్ బుక్స్ అసలు ముట్టుకోకూడదు. ఐ సెడ్ టు దట్ గర్ల్, డోంట్ టచ్ యువర్ కాలేజ్ బుక్స్ వెన్ యూ కమ్ టు హోమ్. యూ ఫాలో మై గైడ్ లైన్స్ టు హర్. ఐ సెడ్ you please concentrate on hackathons. You please concentrate on project development. You don't touch your college books. Touch the college books as long as you are in the college. Once you come to the home, 4 or 5 hours, no college books touching. Only hackathons, the coding platforms, coding concept, only coding, coding, coding. Then only we will get the job, otherwise no jobs. So this is going to be an object. Everything is available. Everything is available here. So finally, this object will contain whatever is there inside the class as it is available here. So where are you storing the data finally? Where are you storing the data? Object. Behind object, who is there? Class. So I'm going to show you. To define your own class, which keyword you are using? Class keyword you are using. So I will show you one small concept here. To type it, everything, it takes some time. I'm taking you this class concept. Lot of examples will be coming, but concept must be clear. So I'm going to show you the concept of class. So try to understand. Now here I'm going to write it. Whether you go for Java or .NET or C++, any object-oriented programming, just remember and say as it is. So purpose of classes concept is to develop programmer-defined data type, to develop any real-time application. The purpose of developing programmer-defined data type is that to store customized data and to perform customized operations. To develop programmer-defined data type by using classes concept, we use which keyword? Already you have seen Java class keyword, Python class keyword, C++ class keyword. Programmatically, all the class names are treated as which data type? Programmer defined data type. Every OOPS program must starts with which concept? That is, without class concept, there is no program at all. Come to definition of what? Classes. Definition of class, I want to go for it. Come on. A class is a collection of data members and methods. A diagram చూసుకోవాలి ఎప్పుడు. This diagram is very important. You go for as on to the apps, you take it. Mobile apps. iMobile app, for example, iMobile banking app. In that, what will be there? iMobile app is called one object in your mobile, which contains what? Your data only will present. Your account number, your phone number, your details only will present. That is called an object. Inside your details are there. Your operations only perform it. Transactions, your checkbook getting, all your withdrawn money and sending to somebody, your details only will be performing. Like that, your data will present plus your methods will present. That is collective together defined in the class. Then they are reflecting to whom? Object. These are all related to our list class related only. So this is about functions in OOPS are called what? Methods. So when we define a class, there is no memory space created for data members and methods of a class. But whose memory space is created when we create an object with respect to class name? Next, what are all the data members and methods are available in class which are appearing as it is as a part of object with what? Memory space. Example, here number name of M1, M2. When I create a S1 object, we are going to getting what? Number SNO. Next is called what? Name. Next is called what? M1. Next M2. Next M3. Next college name. Like that, many more things. So I'm going to store where is my data? I'm going to store my data in where? Object, okay. Inside the object, where are you storing? Data members you are storing. Number, store the number. Name, inside the name. M1, M2, M3. Where are you keeping the books? Your books, where are you keeping? Bag lo ఉన్న సెల్ఫ్లోనా? In the bag will contain some selves or not? What are that? First self, second self, third self. Data members అంటారు. In the bag ఉందా లేదా మీకు అసలు? In the bag, there are some compartments are there or not? In the first bag in the first set laptop, next is called different box, next is called something. Inside the bag, there are some zips are there. You may ask, sir, no zip at all. That what you are opening is called one self only available. That self one, self two, self three in the bag are called data members. So you are storing the date books in selves of your bag. So like that, number, name, M1, M2, M3 are called what? Data members. We are storing the data in data members of object. Data stored in object, okay, that is nice. But more perfectly, more professional will think what? Data stored in data members of object. మీకు ఇంగ్లీష్ కాకపోతే మనం ఏం చేయలేం దానికి. So that programmer can store the data in data members of object and performs operation on the data members of object by using methods. So why to write methods inside the class? To perform the corresponding operations. So on the student object, what operations we can perform? These operations. On employee class, what operations will perform? These operations. On list, we can perform what operations? 12 functions I defined. 12 operations I can define on which object? Set object. Set you take it. 17 functions I said. 17 functions we perform on which object? Set object. Like that, I will define my own class. I will do my own operations. This is about which concept? Class concept. So later we will go for, tomorrow I will go for how to define the syntax. Syntax for defining syntax for defining class in which language? Python. Python syntax is different. Java syntax is different. C++ syntax is different. So we are going to learn tomorrow how to define the class in Python. I'm going to tell you the syntax and coding will start immediately. Coding will start immediately. So today what you do, you please understand this. And already I said you class meaning is what I said, how to develop the class. Tomorrow coding we will learn. And today you try to understand the concept of this class concept. Prepare well and come tomorrow. And read our data types once. Read our data types once and refresh all our functions once. And variable arguments, keyword variable length arguments, positional arguments, all those things you refer once. Okay. I'll stop my class and tomorrow class will go for how to define the class. Online students, you hold on if any doubts you people are having. So read the notes. And once again, I'm appreciating those who have submitted the project. And I created one common table and I checked it. Some of them are reaching to my expectation. Some of them are not that much expected. Still, you do some revision on it. Okay? Right. Carry on. Online students, you hold on if any doubts. Don't miss tomorrow class, important class. Right.